a Living History production.
Hello and welcome to Peter Hart's Military History, and here we are. I'm with lovely Gary Bain, who looks all sparkling clean because he's been in the sea today. The sea's less clean than it was, I suspect, but there you go. And I'm also with Alex Churchill, who defines the difference between an academic historian, a popular historian, a military historian, and a lovely historian. Which one are you?
None of the above, potentially.
What are you, Alex?
Noted historian.
Oh, I know. I can tell you what I am because someone told me on Twitter the other day. I am someone who reduces history to stupidity. That's what I do.
I thought that was my job.
I thought that was my job.
So what are we talking about today then?
Where have we been? What's been happening? First, that Alex Churchill insisted that we go back to
wherever
Gully
we went.
Beach.
Gully Beach.
Talk about why we went to Gully Beach. We went to Gully Beach. I got some footage of General Maud's retreat along Gully Beach and round to W Beach.
His personal retreat.
I once more feel like Princess Diane.
Gary, can you recite the poem that was said on the beach?
Boom, boom.
No, different one. Very serious. Coming
to the lighter, Maud. Hurry up, you get. Something like
that.
There was a bit about forgetting your kit as well.
So we went from the lighter and filmed round to where he had to go, and it's a lot further than I thought.
Is it?
Yeah, I thought like
That's why it took him about 2 hours.
The next cove along, but it wasn't. It's a bloody long walk. He nearly got left behind, didn't he?
Yeah.
He really did nearly get a bit left behind.
What's that dum-de-dum?
That dum-de-dum is because Gary can't deal with actual history on your history podcast.
That's not my role. What's going on?
Who am I? What place is this? Who are you? And what are you doing in my bedroom?
There's been not a single joke about the Cum Hotel. What's going on?
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm sure you'll fix that later.
So we did go. We did do some filming,
and we went up the very pronounced headland that we like going up. Okay, so then what happened then? Oh, we came out a different way. That was quite exciting. No idea where I was going. And then where did we go after? Oh, then we did go to Y Beach. Y Beach, it's nothing but a bloody cliff. And that was quite exciting, wasn't it? Because we decided not to go the dangerous route down. Because we had some cowards with us, and I don't blame them for being cowardly, and I respect their cowardice. And we decided not to go the easy way down. Well, we meant to go the easy way down.
You decided we were going the easy way down.
That's right.
And then you probably went the wrong bloody way, and basically we were all then spent the next hour rolling down a cliff face until we reached the bottom. In scrub until we reached the bottom.
I didn't see any cliff, but I did see a lot of scrub, and I've got some great pictures I will be putting up on the web of the person who was immediately behind me.
There were bent poles and everything.
Yeah, at one stage I got my leg stuck, and I genuinely thought I'd have to cut my own leg off to get down.
I have some great pictures of that moment. You know, I rushed to help him, but he said, "No," "No, stand back, Pete, for I do not want you to get hurt in any way."
I'm pretty sure he didn't then say, "But take lots of pictures of me looking like a great oaf that you can then share with the world."
I was going for gorgeous.
Gorgeous my arse.
Well, in fact, that's exactly what I was going for. Gorgeous arse.
Actually, yes, I'll put that one up as well now you've mentioned it.
But
so have you mentioned this week on the podcast Colonel Duddles? Do your listeners know Duddles is with us?
Yes.
So Duddles has got this thing of, he does the toddler thing where he sits down and just slides on his bum, with the result that he's just been filthy all day, hasn't he?
That's been a little bit.
He just looks like he's been rolling in
But
dirt.
he did say that in the Royal Military Police he was known for looking like a bag of shit tied up ugly, so I think it's just par for the course.
Yeah.
Unlike Gary, who's an upright and erect prisoner of the Royal Military Police.
I was really popular with the Royal Military Police. They used to invite me back to their place quite regularly. But later in the day, talking about coming down on your backside, the lovely Duddle suggested I did that, and we will come to that in the French sector.
Oh.
It was a bit like that Olympic sport where you come down on a tea tray.
Oh, the luge.
Yeah. I genuinely thought I wasn't stopping. I genuinely thought I was going to go straight past him.
The only thing that stopped Rob earlier on was a rock.
Well,
and the pole.
Actually, Rob's pole was bent. It was almost 45 degrees.
I heard that, and his walking stick was getting a bit of a battering as well.
Yeah. Well, And his pole.
But had he not had most of his weight on said pole,
What
he
weight?
broke a limb.
What weight? He weighs
Like the 8.5 stone, yeah. You're just bitter, aren't you?
I am.
Bitter.
We're bitter. Well,
He's
Gary's
6'4",
exceptionally bitter.
and he's 3 stone.
6'4" and he's 3 stone. That's about right. And when we got to the bottom, it was all worth it, wasn't it? Everyone had a spirit of achievement and congratulated me on the route we'd taken.
Using many words that aren't repeatable on your podcast. Yes.
Sadly not. No.
Yeah.
We repeat
But no,
them.
we did realise, and what it was good
We
for...
often repeat them on our podcast.
What it was good for was... Because I was videoing like a documentary Blair Witch style on the way down with people. What it was very good for was realising what a stupid idea it was to land at Y Beach. Because it's not a bloody beach.
It's a cliff.
It's a cliff. And then when you get there, you have... the cliff, so you get on the beach and there's no way back.
Let's talk about the beach for a second. It's about 10 foot wide.
Yep.
Generous 10 foot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no beach.
So there
Does
you
explain
are,
certain things about you.
and then there's just a sheer cliff face in front of you.
It is. It's a bit rough, isn't it? But it was good being there. We at the request of Paul Hildyard, we read 1,000 million quotations about it seemed to be 1,000 million quotations, most of them concerning with how difficult it was to get up the cliff and how easy it was to fall back down again.
Which we then learnt about when we climbed said
Well,
cliff.
we went out the easy way. Roger went the hard way and said it was easy, and we went the easy way, and it wasn't that easy, was it?
The problem is, it's not that it is very steep and it buggers your calf muscles up. It's hard, but what really makes it awful is all the loose covering on the floor. Oh, look at you. You can't handle not being the centre of attention, can you?
Oh, sorry. So am I still here?
So what would you like to say about the ascent?
Nothing.
He moaned all the way up.
Did he?
He did. He
You said that you never complained at
I didn't
Gallipoli.
complain. I moaned. There is a difference.
I can see the difference. Right, so when we got to the top, we all discussed that we were all idiots for going down the wrong way and coming back the wrong way. And anyway,
No, we discussed that you were an idiot and then people took it in turns to beat you with their walking poles.
One in particular.
but we'd like to mention Nick, and I will be mentioning Nick to the police when I get back.
I don't think he was very happy with how his morning was progressing.
He's
Sound
still
beating.
looking at you like he wants to punch you in the
He
face now.
reminds me a lot of Fred the farting dog, who always looks at me as if he wants to bite me. And it's been explained to me.
That Nick wants to bite you.
Well, long may, yes.
However, we went for a lovely little break after that, didn't we? I think we went off for an ice cream and a coffee.
I do like ice creams. Do you like ice creams?
I do, because I've discovered unicorn cornettos here.
Look nice.
That's awesome. Pink and blue ice cream and fruity
What's
stuff.
it taste of? Forget
Fruit.
the history.
Fruit.
What's
So there's like a
ice cream
strawberry
taste of?
sauce all the way through it.
I'm having one of them
Yeah.
tomorrow. I had caramel one, and at the bottom there's sort of an ocean of caramel, and as you bite into it, it explodes all over your hands and your face and
Yeah,
down
you get
your
an
front.
ocean of strawberry on the unicorn.
Got to
one.
have ocean of strawberry.
Yeah.
What did
But
you
that
have
was
an
in
ocean
Alki
of?
Tepe, wasn't it? Which,
It was. Krithia as was.
Krithia as was.
But then we went to Skewbridge Cemetery,
Where we had lunch.
where you had more ice cream.
We did have more ice cream.
More ice cream.
I had two. There we looked at Colonel Quilter's grave, who was Joe Murray's colonel at the start of the campaign. And then, so where did we go from there? We had the poem. A poem
the
written
never-ending poem.
by the president of Turkey several years ago now, obviously. And it was a lovely poem.
He was the Prime Minister of Turkey.
Yes. And it went on for about, read by Roger Chapman, it went on for about an hour and a half.
And it
Which
featured
is just too many sycophants around and no one said, it's a rubbish poem, make it shorter.
I liked it.
Well, Roger hates the poem and he's never got past the first stanza. Because normally I shout, shut up. But this time I thought, looking at you lot and remembering the sound beating I'd had, that I would just leave and leave you all
You
to
ran
it.
and hid behind a tree.
Yeah, well, no, I went for a slash.
Yeah. But my favourite part was when he finished and James, who we all know loves war poetry.
He does.
He loves it. Said, aren't there any more verses?
Now, it does feature young J.A. Townsend, who was just 15.
So there was a serious point.
There was a
Yes.
serious point being made, which you historians seem to have just glossed over
No,
with your
I tweeted-
obsession with ice cream.
I tweeted a picture of his grave, so a Gallipoli boy soldier.
I'm going to bring you back on track.
I bet Richard Van Emden knows all about him.
I've never heard of him. Then we had a very nice trip to a very nice place for the afternoon. We went to the French sector.
We went to French Caribs. Oh, you couldn't remember the name of the valley,
Thank
could
you
you?
very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Pete.
Caribs
You
Valley.
had this great idea of taking us down the
I
Ravine de Moor.
wanted to go down the Ravine de Moor because I said it sounded good.
Yes. And we asked Roger what it was like, and he said...
He'd lost his camera there, and it was the worst place he'd ever been in his life,
Yeah.
and he never wanted to go back there.
So we didn't go there.
He was
We went
with me at the time.
We went to the reasonably easy route in.
Which is sort of that marks the delineation between the French trenches and the Turkish trenches.
And we found that well that both sides shared.
That we talked about in our podcast on the French, and that was good. And then I went and had a little explore with a couple of the lads over, and a new member of the troop.
Disappeared.
Yeah, I disappeared up a hill, and that was good. Got some fantastic. I wanted some pictures from the other side of the thing, and I got them. And then we came back, and then we rather unwisely allowed people who didn't know where they were to lead us out, and so we got totally lost on the way out. It was a modest climb, wasn't it?
Well,
I didn't do it. I went the easy way.
No. So we climbed out, and we were looking for the sangers. Quite steep, wasn't it? And we saw a couple of sangers with stone-built barricade trenches, and they were impressive. But we didn't find the big one we wanted to find, which is a bit of a disappointment. And that's because we drifted too far to the right.
so we went off to the right under a very large overhanging piece
Well, it's about 20 foot tall, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it went on for a very long way, and we discovered that we couldn't actually go round it, so we had to go back exactly where we'd just been.
Although, of course, Bulent actually climbed it because he's young and virile.
And then you led us too high, and Duddles quite rightly said, look, come down to this level on your backside.
Very wise advice. How did
And
that
that's
go
the
for you?
point where I did my impression of the luge. And I genuinely thought, I'm just going to go straight past him, because I was doing about 30 miles an hour.
Oh, fond memories.
Yeah, lovely.
I was looking from above.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was unable to
you're
help
very
you.
helpful.
Mocking from above.
Yeah, you
I think. Yes.
And then we got to we saw another line of Sanger trenches just before we got to the top.
And Rob Hildyard
He
found...
finally found a sodding bullet, didn't
Hang on,
he?
sorry.
I think the suspense may have been broken.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Alive.
He has not stopped bitching, has he, all week
No.
about his inability to find battlefield detritus.
He found a French round.
Is it not detritus?
No, I changed it.
Oh.
No, it's ammunition.
Oh.
But it was live and it was French,
Idiots. Oh, sorry. It's live.
which was lovely.
And that was lovely. It was a nice example. And he didn't take it away because that's not what you do.
He sold it.
No, he didn't sell it. He photographed it and then left it where it was.
And then he sold it.
No, he didn't sell it.
Now, that was quite a difficult climb out, and one or two of us were slightly perspiring.
You stank when you got back to the coach, all of you.
Yes. And I looked like I just stepped out of the shower.
Yeah.
I did.
But Pete, you still annoyingly were bounding around like a Labrador with all this boundless energy.
Well, we noticed as we came out that Duddles was running down the road. And so we decided that we would walk until the last tree, which was about 20 foot from the coach, and then we'd run.
We are running down the road.
And Duddles was across the road and saw us, and we said, "Oh, we've run all the way, Duddles." Only, that fell flat on its face because
I
he watched
love
us.
Duddles.
All
Royal
we then got on the
Military
bus.
We did get on the bus, and then we went on a lovely little ride. So that Roger...
This was we'd always seen this white monument over to our left as we're travelling towards Anzac on the left, and we'd been told by Bulent that it was a monument to 3 heroic Turkish soldiers who'd frozen to death in 1960 or something at Christmas. How to get there, and he discovered the route, hadn't he?
Yeah.
And me and Roger were going to walk it because I
Who'd have
decided to go with
thought?
Roger. And what was that route like by bus?
Considering our bus isn't a 4x4 bus, it was catastrophically dangerous. There was 3 inches of clearance before our front left wheel went off that road.
I was waiting for
down
Belen
a
to start
ravine.
talking to the driver.
Well, Belen was absorbed in his phone. I think he was putting another one of these magnificent bets on.
Yeah.
But he wasn't even looking.
No.
And then when we got to the monument, what did we find out? This is now.
We found out that they were 3 foresters, those 3 forest workers, and they died in August. They froze to death in August.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't sound right, does it? Forest fire? Did we find out what it was?
No, he was Googling it. He couldn't really find it. But the graves were there.
It was interesting. Well, it was 3 graves. There's a nice monument. And then you lot went back, and the fitter members of the...
we went back exactly the way we had come. So
was that equally scary?
Yes. The coach
That was when
round.
we nearly tipped off the side.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Oh, I was scared enough going up, and I was on the other side.
I kept thinking, if we go off, that's going to be really painful. And I thought, what are you worried about? You'll be dead.
Yeah, it was only about a couple of 100-foot sheer drop at the point where our wheel was dangling over the precipice.
It was a bit like the scene.
And Belen was putting bets on.
I suspect that no risk assessment was done before we went up that road. Not to be disparaging about Peter Hart battlefield tours.
Anyway, Roger and myself, who just had a little bit of spare energy, walked back to the Kamatau, which was not too far. It was 2.3 miles. It was lovely. A lovely walk along the top of the cliffs. No ups and downs, except right at the end where the road sort of petered out. And we could have walked along the beach, but we could see 3 of our friends. Who are you? Gary, James, and Paul, frolicking, and I use the word wisely, in the sea. So we climbed to the top of this last thing and stood there, proud and erect, waving and shouting, "Yoo-hoo!" Anyway, the deaf, blind sods.
I was in the sea. I took my glasses off. I couldn't see the ball. How am I going to see you?
It has been pointed out on social media that Bülent has taken up smoking after 5 days with you.
Well, I'm not sure taken up's the right
Yes,
word.
and I'm not sure we should be talking about it, seeing his wife doesn't know.
He'd quit. She's not listening to this podcast.
She is.
She is.
She's our biggest fan.
She said that we were the best thing since McLachlan's. Oh, McLachlan. Right, so then we got back, and I think a good day was had by all. I think a fairly cheery gathering for an early pint round the thing, and then you came out of the sea glistening,
Like
dripping,
Daniel Craig.
like Daniel Craig he was, with a couple more chins, stomachs, and larger breasts.
Looking like a proper bloke.
That's true comment. He looked like a proper bloke.
Yeah.
Not like nobody looks like
Can
Daniel
we just
Craig.
say, though, that
It's fine.
you were accompanied by other individuals wearing swimming shorts. Paul Hildyard looks rather good for a man of 67, doesn't he?
Yes.
Well, I
does.
would.
And on that note,
Cheers, Pete.
bye Gary, and bye young
Yes,
Alex.
thank you,
Bye-bye.
Alex.
Thank you for helping us.
Thank you, Alex. That
Bye.
was wonderful.